How y'all doing? Today appears to be a magical day. A nondescript cardboard box. It's been dropped in my lap. Oh, not quite. It's there. Which could mean only one thing. Maybe. Magic box. Gonna be living the dream. Aha! Tension! Card. Plug in, turn on. So, Steam Deck. Steam Deck day. Okay. Power supply. And in hard case, the 512 gig Steam Deck. And I've ordered a terabyte Lexar micro SD to go in here too. This is going to be really rad for me. Power supply. So I'll go plug in that. Yeah, it's going to be really rad for me because that has a suspend feature. Many eons ago, I had children. And pretty much from the moment that I had children, gaming went in the bin. And I went as low as... I can't remember, we did a calculation once upon a time, but we figured out that my game time just fell completely off the planet. Trying to get me into a game was just not going to happen. It was pretty abysmal to the point that I think we said it was like sub 100 hours a year it went to. That still sounds like quite a bit, right? But given that I know some people who will put that much time into like a single game in a month, yeah, I mean, think about it. That's like what, 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, 2 weeks ish. You know, it's not good maths there, but you know what I mean. Like if you were working 12-hour days, you'd end up doing 60-hour weeks, and then you'd be doing like 120 hours in a fortnight, right? There are people who play even longer than that per day. My game time came into less than that in a year. Until, realistically, my saving grace getting me back into gaming was a bit of live streaming, a bit of Let's Playing, and a magical device called the Nintendo 3DS. And Monster Hunter 4. Or Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate and Monster Hunter 4. The 3DS has a pause and resume feature, a sleep feature. So I could be in the middle of a hunt in Monster Hunter and just shut it. And it saves everything where it is and it's done. So when people need me, I just shut it and I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm doing my dadly duties, I'm doing my husbandly duties, I'm doing whatever it is that I need to do as part of a functioning member of society. Then, when I get a few moments of peace, I can just go, boom, open it up, and there's what I was doing, exactly where I left it. And that was a great thing back in the day. This has kind of the same feature, and I'm really psyched for it. This is a Linux PC in a handheld. And thankfully bigger than the Nintendo Switch, because I can't use the Nintendo Switch because my hands are too big. But I love me some Linux. I do love me some PC gaming, because I've got a pretty meaty PC. That pause and resume is going to be so good, though. And actually, thinking about it, this is about as powerful-ish as what I used to call a burn box, which was a Dell Optiplex 990? 990? I think so, hang on. So it's still through here. Chaos! I need to clean this up. Underneath the good book. So look. There it is. Yep. Dell Optiplex 990. At one point when I was really starved on space and couldn't use my PC at the time, Alcatraz, which was massive. My current PC, Belial, is over there. Alcatraz was much bigger than that. I was using this, and it's an Intel Core i5 2400, and it had a 750 Ti in it. And then when the 1050 Ti came out, we put a 1050 Ti low profile in it. And that became my gaming PC, my editing PC, streaming rig, everything was done on that little box. And it worked. It really did work. It was fantastic. Not particularly powerful, but it did its job. But roughly the power of the Steam Deck-ish. I mean, probably actually more powerful, give or take. So that'll probably do 1080p. Steam Deck will do 720. I don't know. But I'm just pulling numbers out of my ass at this point. I'm sure someone has actually checked. But I could do so much stuff on that. And given the Steam Deck is just a small PC, in theory, if I wanted to, I could install video editors and streaming software and all that kind of stuff on the Steam Deck and do the exact same thing I did with that, turning the Steam Deck effectively into a portable workstation. So if I wanted to, plug in a dock and use it to do exactly what I did on this so many years ago. Right now, this is currently actually a SteamOS machine running the older version of SteamOS with Debian on it. But love it. It should be noted, I do love me some Linux gaming. I like gaming in general, to be fair. It's a nice release. But I do like Linux gaming. I like Linux. My VR headset, my VR setup is built around Linux, my full body tracking setup. So I've got a Vive, because it runs on Linux natively through Steam VR, just like the Valve Index. SteamOS, pretty nice. Was a bit thin until they started implementing Steam Play or Proton or Wine and DXVK, whatever you know it as. But it's neat. And I have mentioned before how Linux has got me to play games that I wouldn't have normally played just because, well, that was the stuff that was available. If it had a native Linux client, I would pick it up because I was like, fuck yes, a game I can play. Not against Windows gaming or anything like that. I've put in shit tons of hours into Windows gaming over the years, but that Steam Deck is going to be fantastic. Portable, Linuxy. Not everything's going to work how I want it to. It is pretty low power, so I ain't going to get the same grunt as what I get at Belial, currently running Linux, Fedora 36, with a 3080 in it, but going to be great. Let's have a look and then plug it in. Should have really got a tripod, shouldn't I? There's one in the other room in the corner, but I'm just excited. I am excited. This is a neat piece of hardware. I do like Valve hardware. I love that they're pushing Linuxy based stuff so that you can play your like the Wine DXVK Steam Play stuff. I love that idea because you can just buy Windows games and they run on Linuxy stuff. Everything Valve has done up until this, so, you know, Steam machines, Steam OS, and the Steam controller, which I still use with my Steam machine. There we go. Oh, he's like, why are you getting so excited, Pokemon? Right? I love what they're doing, and their hardware is generally pretty good. Steam machines were massively overpriced, but everything was leading to this. Everything was leading to this wonderful little box, which I can't open one-handed. Hang on. Had to get my unboxing cleaver. I use a cleaver to cardboard. It's not cardboard. Not the thing that there's cable tie on the zip. Can't. There we go. Lack of professionalism here should show people that I'm not interested in being professional YouTuber of the year or anything. Because I don't fucking believe in it. Some people have bust out all the shit. we go. One Steam Deck. So what I'm going to do is put this wee one on charge. Where's the charge port anyway? Oh, is it at the top? Is there anything at the bottom? That's quite hefty, actually. Can't blimey. And I'll fire it up, log into Steam, and... Oh, you are a beauty, though. That is literally a Steam pad, I'm telling you. 2 touchpads, 2 sticks. Steam pad would have done a lot better if they'd have just put in a second analog stick. I'm just saying. Just saying. So it was a fantastic pad. Yeah, neat. Oh, charge time. I don't need another Linux PC, but got one. Not entirely unexpected, but plugging it in turned it on. And it made the little haptic, like, charge sound. That's neat. Right, I'm going to set this up and charge it, and then just leave me alone, alright? Steam Deck is downloading updates. Whilst it's doing that, I'm going to watch We Met in Virtual Reality. It won't take anywhere near as long for it to do like that stuff, but I might as well, right? See you in a bit. Well, that was alright. I finally finished the We Met in Virtual Reality doc. I tried watching it the other day and I didn't manage to finish it, but this time I actually sat through it. Now, I did start watching it with the wife, and she got like a third of the way in, and she was like, nah, I can't be dealing with this. This is ridiculous. So, I thought it was alright. Frankly, the best part of it, I think I said the other day, was that the best part of that documentary that I had seen then and now watching the whole thing was probably the intro. The intro running up to the title sequence was probably the best part. However, it's interesting in that it shows relationships develop in virtual reality. It follows 2 couples and another lassie, and then a few like spatters of small groups and stuff, and how they met and all that kind of stuff, how they deal with what they've gone through in life and that. And then the best parts, in my opinion, are where they show what people do in virtual reality, how they hang out. You've got one person who is teaching dance, you've got another person teaching sign language, which, by the way, fantastic. People just driving around and dicking around in little worlds, basically having little virtual holidays and things like that. Just those were the parts that I found to be the most interesting. And the cool thing as well, actually, they list all of the worlds that they show at the end of the credits, so you could realistically, as long as those worlds are still public, go and check them out yourself. It was neat. I thought it was nicely shot. At times it was really well shot. But I don't know, maybe a bit more meat on the bones would have been nice. Now I'm downloading games onto Steam Deck. I am super psyched for it. I just thought, actually, I'd have a look at my Steam charts or Steam database statistics. And it's funny, actually, because it counts from about 2019. Right, so here's what you got. And if you come down to here, Windows is pretty fucking high. Linux, not as high, but pretty solid. I really wanted to get that up to 1,000 before my Steam Deck came, but whatever, job done. Now, I know I said, right, that I don't play a lot, or I didn't play a lot, okay? But if you were to divide these numbers up, that's actually a pretty sizable amount of time per day. However, it should be noted, right, since 2019, okay, in 2019, I started a little challenge that involved me playing games every single day. For the first time in, whether I had, basically I was given 18 months for a little project. And so for the first time in years and years and years, at the start of 2019, I started playing games again and doing things online again regularly. So I think a lot of that number actually comes from that period. So I was streaming again and playing again and just generally having a good time. And then by middle of 2020, just that that went back to normal. But I'm making up for lost time. And Windows had quite a boost actually, because it wasn't until a short while ago that I actually started doing VR in Linux. So I didn't have my Vive. So because I've played on Linux a pretty reasonable amount of time, I know what I'm getting myself into. So I know it's not going to be mega perfect, fantastic, super smooth, but it's plenty sufficient. And actually, just as a note, I think I mentioned, was it yesterday or a few days ago, I mentioned how I was having issues with Steam, right? And my performance has been a bit wank. Well, we're thinking, when I updated to Fedora 36, my desktop environment ended up back on Wayland for whatever reason. Now, I wouldn't use Wayland normally because it causes my VR to have a hissy. You can't do VR under Wayland. If you're not on Linux, again, don't worry. Wayland is just, it's one of those things that people who like to suffer have to deal with. And, you know, if you're on Windows or Mac, you don't deal with that kind of thing. You deal with telemetry and stuff like that. But my machine was on Wayland and I was trying to play Stray the other day on stream, and it looked like crap. It ran like crap. Really ran like crap. Then I disabled Wayland yesterday, didn't I? To get my VR working. Load up Stray today. Fucking running brilliantly. Fuck Wayland. Sorry, I'm just rambling. It's great. I can't wait to play with that thing. Okay. Downloaded a few games. Well, I say a few. Sea of Thieves, VR Chat, Monster Hunter Rise, and Puyo Puyo Tetris. Although Puyo Puyo 1 isn't listed as supported, although 2 is, but it'll probably work. It's just might be multiplayer is balked. I don't know. Or it might have just been overlays. When you install games, it does tell you, like, we've checked XYZ. This is the thing that isn't working, but it's usually just like overlays and stuff. Launching Steam VR mode on this? No, I think not, but I might test that another time. The demons. I wonder if I can just get some of these. Actually, no, because I can just use the. Does that still? Okay, I assume that pressing really counts as a click, but that's probably actually the trigger that counts as the click. Welcome. Yes. Got it. I've been changed. No. Oh no. I want to do that. Oh yeah, okay, cool. So it's the trigger counts as click. So that's neat. Oh, so it actually got proper control support. Alright. Cool. Yep, there you go, that works. Good job. Yes, I'm just being a dick. So, yeah, VR chat on a Steam Deck. Now I've got no excuse when it comes to being an antisocial douchebag, because I'll pretty much have this with me all the time now. Steam VR, Linux VR chat, bit of a mess right now. Desktop version, just fine. Something I should just quickly point out. I'm sure loads and loads of people know this kind of stuff by now, but this isn't a Windows machine. Obviously, if anyone watches this video up to this point, they'd know it's not a Windows machine. But there's my games library, and that's how many games are already verified for the deck. Just because it isn't verified doesn't mean it won't play. I've played tons and tons of games on Linux that weren't Proton verified, Steam Play verified, the thing that allows you to run Windows games on Linux. They work fine. If anyone is curious to find out what games will play, there is a Steam Deck verified page, but things that aren't verified, go to protondb.com, I think it is. Or just go to your search engine of choice and type in ProtonDB, and that will come up with a list of games that you can check out, that you can find it if they run on just Linux in general, Steam Deck, and if there's anything that you may need to do as a user to get it to work better, or things that you can do to make it work better or run better, kind of things you can expect. Will multiplayer work? You know, what kind of frame rates you might get, any bugginess you might get, or, you know, is it just all out flawless, working fine? Yeah, just check that out, and you'll find yourself having a much easier time, I think. Less surprises, but I am psyched as all balls, man. I can't wait. I mean, it's right here. I can't wait. Can't wait to get that micro SD card in it, which will be tomorrow. It's going to be fantastic. I've not done much of anything with the Steam Deck today, but first impressions are positive. I've actually just gone and hooked up a dock and hooked up the TV, connected up a control pad, 8-bit Do SN30 Pro 2. I've got Ethernet hooked up, and I'm just downloading a bunch of games, because you can just literally go into the menu when you put an SD card in and copy stuff over. So that'll be neat. So I'll just have it pre-downloaded, and I'll clear this main storage and put it all onto the Doobry wire. Also, you could go to your main PC if you already have games downloaded and drag and drop games from that library from your main PC onto a micro SD card or whatever that you're going to put in onto the Steam Deck, and do it that way, because it will just work. Same as if you just use external storage on a PC, you could just take a USB drive from one PC with a Steam library to another PC, and as long as the games, you have the licenses, you've bought the games, as long as they came from the same library, the same account, they'll play once you just plug them in and tell Steam to look for the library. Same agreed for the Steam Deck. You don't have to re-download everything. I could just pull a bunch of games off Belial, but I figured, you know what, I'll try it. Ergonomics are all right, though I find my hands kind of gravitating towards the touchpads. The rear buttons are weird in that they are edge press, not, or is it, no, they're center press, not edge press. So where you grip, it's not here that you press, it's up in the middle towards the center of the Steam Deck. That seemed a bit weird to me, but yeah, I do not expect performance to be super fantastic, hardcore badass. I just don't. And what I said earlier about the comparing it to my Burn Box, I think Burn Box would have been more the 990. That'd have been more of a 1080p machine. I've already spoken about this before when Elden Ring came out. I would get roughly the same performance at 720p as Burn Box will do in 1080. So if I get 30 frames a second on that, on the 990, like I said, 1080p, I'll get 30 on the Steam Deck at 720. 720, why? Because that's the screen raise. So, you know, I'm not looking to push this thing super hardcore. I don't mind limiting games to 30 FPS. Just the idea that an amazing feature that people seem to overlook, other than the fact that it is a full-bore PC, Steam Cloud Sync, the saves sync up, so I could be playing a game on Belial or on the little burner box or whatever. My save file uploads to the cloud, to Steam's save storage, and then I can fire up the same game on the Steam Deck and continue from where I left off. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. You have the option of hooking it up. I'll just be using it like a Nintendo Switch. It's a Nintendo Switch but for PC. Just better. Software's alright. Gets a bit laggy when you plug it into a telly. But SteamOS has come a long ass way from when I first used it, I'll tell you that for nothing. And Steam Play has really opened up, like Proton and DXVK has really opened up things for people. Absolutely fantastic to see where Valve is going with this. I never thought back in the day that Valve would release a console, a handheld. I never thought it would be here, you know, with how the Steam machines flopped, with how no one looked. I mean, people were buying the Steam machines and then installing Windows on the bloody things, which was kind of against the point, you know. You couldn't say it was a Steam machine if it weren't running Steam OS. It was just a regular as PC at that point, but, you know, again, people missed the point. And then when the Steam controllers failed, I love the Steam Pad. I think it's brilliant. I'll say it again. I'll say it every time I get the chance. Great pad. The only thing that would have made that thing better, more people as a daily driver, would have been a second analog stick. Valve put too much faith in those track pads and the touch pads. Great. Just sometimes a second stick would have been fucking fantastic. The gyro controls, though, fantastic, and they've all made it into the Steam Deck. Just seeing each of these little projects come together in the Steam Deck is just beautiful. Absolutely fantastic. You know, I carry around a laptop with me all the time that is capable of playing a lot of the games that I'm going to play, actually considerably better than the Steam Deck. But the idea that I don't have to bust out a mouse or an extra control pad or find a table and a power supply, because my laptop runs like dirt if you don't plug it in, I can just pull that thing out of a bag and just sit on a sofa or just go lay in bed, or, you know, my laptop, I always have to carry around laptops. And like I just said, it's just a bit of a faff. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And the idea that I could install Kdenlive, HexChat, OBS, you know, Audacity, Reaper, all that kind of stuff. I could install all of my regular tools, like so much more than what I just mentioned, but I could install every tool on the Steam Deck. And, like, oh my god. I can use it as a full-bore workstation, because it's just a PC. It's a PC in a console form. Top notch on that one, Valve. Frankly, the games can run like shit, so I'd still find a great use for it as a PC. Really psyched for it. Really happy to have it. I can't wait to get more storage in it. Oh, just now watches my playtime on the old Steam DB. The old database goes up, 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 up. I'll probably hook it up to one of my other machines to do a few streams with it. I could stream off it, but again, the hardware is pretty tight as far as performance goes, so I'd much rather give it the best chance it's going to get and then just hook it into a capture card like I would a Nintendo Switch. And let people see what it's like, although it would then be trying to play games at like 1080p or 4K. Actually, what is that trying to run at? I'm pretty sure that ain't 1080 bloody p. I think my sensors are blocking the TV from telling me what I'm playing at. Oh, Xbox button for the menu. Which one's that on a fucking... there we go. I'm just gonna have a look to see what's actually got the TV set to. Display is set to... Does it actually tell me, or can I not change that unless I go into the actual desktop mode? I'd probably have to go into the actual desktop mode. That's unfortunate. I'm going to imagine bigly, because that's a 4K 60 adapter, and if it's detected a 4K 60 TV, it's going to be trying to play things at 4K 60. Yeah, it's set to 4K 60. TV 4K 60. It ain't going to be pushing 4K 60 anything. I've been psyched for this thing since I put down my pre-order. Initially I wasn't going to get one, put down my pre-order, and then the more things I thought I could do with it, just top notch. And the fact that I've started to come back into gaming again after another break, beautiful. I'm heading off, repeating myself, gashing a little too much. Hope you're well. I'll see you all with a bit of luck in the next one. God damn, I wish they'd put that version of SteamOS though on the old Steam machines on the PCs. That'd be great.